Well, the Cardinals are coming off another series victory. They are 12-5 or 12-3 in their last 15 games. They are hot right now. They're back to 500. It's the end of May. It's time for us to talk about how we're feeling about the Cardinals as a team and all their players individually as the month of May comes over. How are we feeling? Last time we did this, we were pretty pessimistic. We'll get into all that more in this episode of D on the Cards. Hey, I'm always down for a tier list. This is gonna be fun. Last time it was me and Sandy. We've got Andrew back in here now. Again, if this is your first time watching Deal in the Cards, we do usually twice a week episodes here, and also some other fun videos as well. So subscribe if you're on YouTube or listening on another platform. It helps the channel a ton. And if you want more Cardinals content, my name's Josh. This is Sandy and Andrew. And we're really excited to join you for you to join us this time. So if you're watching live, let us know your thoughts on this tier list as we're going through. Let's just do a quick wrap up of the Red Series. Sandy, how are you feeling coming off of another series victory?
I mean, I'm very happy. You know, I was a little worried after the Cards dropped game one, although it wasn't unreasonable to expect them to drop that game. It was a weird game. They ended up getting in at like 3 a.m, went to bed at 4. Had to be up, just a little bit later. So that's fair. But it was another great series. The Cardinals, this series, the offense looked really good. They put up, I believe, 13 runs, which when you average it out, that's a little over 4 per game, which isn't great. But the offense put them in positions to win 2 of those games, and they did it without a ton of wrist luck. So I believe over the course of the series, they went like 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position, which isn't great. Yet because they're slugging now, they're still able to put up some runs. So I'm very, very happy about where this Cardinals team is going in the future. Like they're slugging, they're starting to do the little stuff right. Good things are happening.
Yep, amen to all of that. So I'll save most of my takes for as we're going through here. But yep, feeling really good. Andrew, how are you feeling coming out of the Cincinnati series? Is Andrew up a Homo's water?
Maybe. I'll be cautious. It's good, right? They easily could have dropped the series because that first game was not good at all. I don't blame them. They didn't really they didn't have any rest. Their bullpen was taxed. Makes sense. The guys weren't really hitting, but Arenado, big homer yesterday. And then today, kind of getting it done without some of the regulars. Nootbaar got pulled, which is a little bit concerning, but no Arenado either. Matt Carpenter's the DH. So you're getting production out of places that you're not necessarily expecting it, which is great. Masyn Winn still continues to look really, really good. One of the top players in the league. Probably, I think, still the WAR leader for the Cardinals so far this season, which is great. I'm excited to see how they look against one of the best teams in all of baseball. The Phillies are kind of stumbling, though. They dropped a series to the Rockies, dropped a series to the Giants, and they've played a lot of weak teams. So maybe they're not actually as good as people have said, but you're going up against Nolan, Suarez, tough pitching this upcoming week. But I'm excited to see what they can do against the Phillies. And if they win that series, then I might be fully bought back in. I won't confirm or deny for the baseball gods who don't like me very much this year. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies are like the best, arguably top 2 team in baseball right now. So if they lose a series of Phillies, I don't think there's a way unless they get curb stomped for me to be like, oh no, I'm out again. It's I don't know, but you'd really like to see a series win. So let's jump into the player, the tier list player grades, all that stuff, just because we've got a lot to go through. So this is going to take a little while, and we'll obviously have a lot of our takes come through as we go. Andrew, I don't know if you want to pop that up. I'll also throw up this time. So last time Sandy and I did this tier list, and this is kind of what we did grades wise. So it's Sonny Gray and Ryan Helsley in S tier. Masyn Winn, Wilson Contreras, the Chip Carey flu game, Andrew Kittredge, Brendan Donovan, and JoJo Romero in A tier. And you can see the rest of these as well. F tier was just Palante, Caden Crawford. So there's definitely going to be some changes with F tier. That's crazy to look at that a month later.
John King.
Yeah, Ollie landed in D tier. The Cardinals were in bottom, toward the bottom of C tier. And it was right when they were edging toward that, they were kind of mid at that point, and then they fell off. So I can't remember when this was. It was probably the second week or first week of April. I think it was the third week of April we did this. So
I think we made this really close to the end of April. I believe the team was 3 to 4 games under 500.
Yeah, you're right. So it was right before the massive fall off. So I'm interested to see how we go this time. So again, also this is based off player performance overall. So the expectations of a player will be baked into a little bit, but we're not going to put a player in A tier just because we thought they'd be awful and they've been like okay. There'll still be some resemblance of this is an average player in general, but what are the performances so far? Let's go through it. So Ryan Helsley, it's been a little bit tricky the last few outings. It hasn't been as pretty, but personally, I don't think you could throw him anywhere lower than S tier right now. He's still been one of the top closers in baseball. You got to hope he continues to figure things out the rest of the way, and he's not cracking a little bit from overuse. But would you guys disagree at all with an S tier for Ryan Helsley?
I would agree.
Actually, I'd probably put him in A tier. I would have put him in S tier like 4 days ago, but like he's given up it hasn't been looking great. I feel like he's tipping his pitches a little bit. I think Kyle Reese pointed that out on Twitter, that he's I think slower to throw the pitch when it's a breaking ball or something like that. I don't know. I feel like A tier is fair. S tier is also fair. I don't know if you guys are going to outvote me, but I
would say S tier for me.
Okay.
He's got 98th percentile expected ERA. It just doesn't get much better than that. Literally among the best 2% of pitchers in baseball. He's been pretty incredible.
Yeah, and it's just like his last 3 outings he's given up runs in, but before that he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 straight outings without an earned run. So I don't know. I think he's S tier. If you put it at the very top of A tier, I get it, but I think he's an S tier. I mean, we can't expect closers to be perfect. And also, like, very rarely are relievers going to have a sub 1 ERA, sub 2 ERA. He's
up to a 2.52 now, which is like inching closer to 3. Which
but I mean, it also takes like 2 outings for that to go to low 2s again.
And at the same time, this guy leads all of baseball in saves. Like, he's a closer, and he's doing what closers do more than anybody else in the league, which is locking down games and ensuring the team wins.
Outvoted, Andrew.
Okay.
S tier.
Okay.
Hey, don't bring the bad juju, because this rate with Andrew's predictions, Helsley's going to be in like C tier by the end of next month. So.
Okay.
Zach Thompson.
I don't think he's like played at all since the last time you guys did this. So
yeah, I don't think he has either.
Where did you put him last time? You put him in C tier. Okay.
We did?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Well, I don't remember when he got sent down.
I believe he has played since, and I believe it was not good.
Okay. I would go D tier because I mean he didn't really work out as a C or D. I'm good with either.
I would say D tier. I'm looking at the numbers right now, and they're like quite bad. To be fair, like he's been good in AAA. He had 5 no-hit frames the other day. He did walk 5, which is kind of a bummer. And it looks like he could again get a chance to start, but the problem is like that's AAA. I don't think we get to take that into account. So I'm saying D tier.
Yeah. That's a
9.53 ERA this season.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's real bad. Okay.
Actually, I would say, to be honest, anyone that's sent down for performance concerns, like I would have a really hard time putting them in C or above.
Yeah, part of the difficulty though too with Thompson is they're trying to keep him length out as a starter. So I don't know if he would even be in the bullpen either way right now. But I agree, Seth. I think we're going to keep it A through F instead of adding a tier. He suggested, which I thought was a good idea, to add one that players haven't played this month. But we're still going to go like this is performance from the beginning of the season to May. So. Like, we're not going to throw Jordan Walker off this list now just because he hasn't played recently. Like, that plays into the fact of our grade for him this year. So, Miles Michaelis, I think you can maybe argue C tier after the last few outings. I need to – my bad.
Last time you had him in C tier. So, I feel like it's been about the same. A little bit better.
I think he had – well, again, I think when we last did this, I think he had started to heat up again, and then he fell off again. But then he heated up again.
Right.
We need to date this next time and figure out the stats from that time because it's hard to remember exactly when we did this. But I would say he's probably C tier. He's been eating innings recently, giving them a chance to win. Like, it's not pretty, but it is a 5.64 ERA though, and we are talking about on the season. So I would put I'd put at the bottom of C tier a high D tier. I don't know what you guys feel though.
I would say bottom of C tier. He's ripped off quality starts in 2 of his last 3 games. He's got 3 wins on the season, and the team is only 1 game under 500 in games that he pitches. So it's not like every time he's going out there and it's like, oh, we can't even handle this. So
cool. Let's do that. Willson Contreras, I mean, I know he's been out, but I mean, he was an S tier player before he got hurt. His defense was well above league average. His framing was a lot better, and his bat was one of the top in baseball. So,
yeah,
I'm fine with Contreras staying in S tier.
he was an A tier last time, but I'll bump him up. I think he played better.
An MVP candidate before he went down.
Yeah, I think when we last did this, he started. When we last did this, that's when the offense started to really slow down. So his bat started to slow down. Yeah, I'm remembering this now. So he's definitely an S tier player. Ivan Herrera, what do you guys think about him?
I need to look at some of these numbers again.
I think it's hard. I think B tier is fair. He's 683 OPS isn't great, but for a catcher, that's fine. And he's filling in for Contreras, which has been good. There's been a little bit of power outage with him. He hit 3 homers to start the season, and he hasn't homered recently, but I like what we're getting out of him for the most part. So I think B tier.
I'd be fine with top C for him.
I go B because I feel like
most
catchers aren't going to give you elite offensive production anyways, and we're also talking about he shouldn't be their starting catcher. He should be their second catcher.
That's true.
I'd give him B because I think the defense has been a little bit of an issue, which is kind of you kind of stickered him a little bit there. He's a 110 WRC plus. I don't know. I'd say B.
Yeah,
B is fine with me. Bottom of B tier because he's not he's a good big league catcher right now.
Yeah,
he's a slightly above average big league catcher. He's on pace to have a 2 to 2.5 win season, which is pretty good, especially for a guy who wasn't even starting every day.
Yeah. Brendan Donovan, I feel like he's got to be a C tier guy. His defense has been really helpful this year. Swiss Army knife. He's been hot and cold, but he still thinks sub 700 OPS.
No, it's over.
I think he raised it over 700 today.
Today, okay.
Yeah.
So just over 700 then.
I think Donovan's a 107 OPS plus player.
So, I think that's B tier, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
I would say C. The defense hasn't been as good as we'd like. He's only been worth 0.3 WAR according to Baseball Reference, which that's not the end all be all. But a guy like Donovan, you'd hope would be accruing some more value.
Okay, I would say low end of B, but I guess you guys have him lower than that.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if anyone in the chat had strong opinions, but I'd probably say low B, high C.
Okay.
I'm indifferent on which one. I get your point, Andrew, but
ahead of my list personally.
So right here.
Yeah.
Because I think something you just don't see in the numbers is it's just so valuable that you can throw them in left field, right field, first base, third base, second base. I think that
does
some. So that's where I think that would push him over the edge to me to be a low B tier kind of guy. And I love Brendan Donovan, man. He's if we're talking about guys I don't want to get rid of, he's S tier for me. But
very true.
Yeah. Let's go to top of C tier. We can also move these around a little bit if we need to as well.
Yeah.
So if you're listening on audio so far, we have Helsley and Contreras on the S tier, Ivan Herrera in B tier, Brendan Donovan, Miles Michaelis in C tier, and then Zach Thompson in the D tier right now. And now we got Pedro Pages.
D tier.
D tier.
Okay.
I'd have him right ahead.
He's hitting 050 something, not good offensively, but he also just shouldn't be here because Contreras should be healthy, but whatever.
Yeah, I think D tier is fine because again, I think we're getting some of these guys. We're getting a little bit into expectations again, and overall, he's
tiny
just
sample size too.
Yeah, fine backup. So,
although I will say he had the big hit that won us a game, which was
true. That's true.
True.
His only
Alec Burleson, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's just his only major league hit was a bases clearing double.
Hey, I mean, make the most of it, right?
Yeah.
They gave him a top now card in MLB The Show for that, a 96 overall. It's crazy.
Yikes. Oh my gosh. Burleson, I think A tier?
A tier, yeah.
Yeah, low A for me is where I would have Burley. He's been freaking awesome this year. He's been amazing. He's got a 120 OPS plus coming into play today. I think it dropped a couple points, but
all right, conversation for the three of us here. Alec Burleson, is he someone if the Cardinals are going to make any kind of significant move at the deadline, they're not moving Walker. They're not moving Newbar. Not moving Donovan. Not moving Gorman. They're not moving Winn. They're not moving any of their top pitching prospects. They're not going to move Thomas to JC. Is Alec Burleson the guy they would
going to move
out
Thomas
there?
to JC though? I feel like Thomas to JC is the most expendable out of all of them.
Well, I was reading some stuff from Derek Gould, and I mean, all offseason he was saying they love him, they don't want to get rid of him. Yeah. And then in a recent chat, he was saying that he doesn't think they're gonna again, he's also not just throwing stuff at the fan as his thoughts. He's saying they really want to have a win from that deadline, and so Sajasi and Roby are the guys that can kind of dangle. It's like, see, like we made good trades, we got these guys back, and so they don't, which. It's kind of weird thinking because if you use that to go get a really good piece, you could also be like, hey, like the Jordan Montgomery trade allowed us to go get Jesus Zardo.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they don't want to move Thomas to JC. So, I mean, that could change, but Alec Burleson seems like the guy. And I don't want to trade him. I'm not thinking they should, but like if they're going to make a bigger move, he feels like the piece he would maybe use to do that. And it'd be
like Alec Burleson's the future of first base.
He could be.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it depends whether you like Baker or not. I don't love Baker, so.
Well, you also have Donovan can play there. So JC could probably play there. And I mean, who knows about Nolan Gorman long term? I also feel like Wilson Contreras at some points probably gonna get some first base looks. Yeah, so
it's true.
But
yeah.
Anyways, that's just a thought to throw out there. There's also something. Oh, also it'd be like one of the few times they've ever sold high on an outfielder. You know, like they've always traded their outfielders when they lose all value. So like it could be
I feel like Alec Burleson does not reach the ceiling because his expected numbers are still way higher than his actual numbers.
True. I just mean more so like they dealt them when their value was good rather than like, oh, Dylan Carlson, can we get like a random reliever? Tyler O'Neill, can we get Nick Robertson, Randy Rosarina, like whatever? Can we get Libby? But
speaking, I guess that was learn more about the Cardinals selling on outfielders. We just had a new video.
That's true. That's true. Go check out the rise and fall of Tyler O'Neill. Oh man, I don't want to do this next one, but
F tier.
Oh no, what F tier? He was in D tier last time and didn't play. Like he hasn't played.
Yeah, but I just saw a thing the other day, and it was like the most and least valuable players at each position.
Okay, but that doesn't matter.
MLB. And he was the single least valuable center fielder in baseball this year, and that made me really sad. Okay, and as much as I love Victor Scott, I feel that there is no other spot for a WAR that is -1.
It's not -1. It's -0.9.
That's bad. That's bad. I think this could all change when Victor Scott comes back up at some point later this year or after getting time at the upper minors next year. He will. I believe he will be a very productive player. I think the floor is high.
Yep.
Once he is fully developed, but he was not ready.
I also feel like you shouldn't put a guy in F tier who hasn't played. You shouldn't drop a guy a tier that hasn't played a single game since last.
Well,
time.
I mean, I don't know. I just think that maybe we were too generous last time, to be honest. And like, if we're talking about no expectations, we're just talking about pure performance. Literally, the worst in terms of value, like the least valuable center fielder in baseball this year. I feel there's just no other spot. That's my personal opinion. As much as I love Victor Scott, and I believe he will be a very good big leaguer, I can't emphasize that enough. It was not it this April.
Yeah, I'm kind of. There's part of me that wants to put him in D because
the tier list, right? Like,
no, well,
he also came up like the expectation for him was to cover until Carlson came back, but Carlson's been terrible. So like, it doesn't like. Are you getting any better production out of Carlson right now? Like, Seattle's better, but like, I don't know.
Carlson's gonna be really low on here too, so I don't really know if that's the best. I
forgot to put him on here. Whoops.
LOL.
Every time. It's okay. It's okay. We're like the Cardinals. We forgot about him too. I think it's gotta be F tier or bottom D tier. The part of the reason I like bottom and D tier is because we're gonna have some really random, really this guy just needs to be out of the league kind of guys in F tier, and like it's weird to put Victor Scott in that same conversation or like a certain other top prospect that's in AAA right now in the same breath as Brandon Crawford. So maybe very bottom of D tier because it's like also these guys are young, and the fact like Scott shouldn't have been in MLB. Like he shouldn't even be on this.
Oh, absolutely. But is that bringing expectations into it? Is my question.
Well, I think it's a little bit of it. Like
that's fine. Yeah,
I'm fine with bottom of D tier, either bottom of D tier or top of F tier.
Maybe I wish there was a way to just like have space bars and put Brandon Crawford like all the way on the right.
Well, we could just make a new tier.
We might have to. I think we might have to.
We could just.
I just put him there because I know that.
But I want that discussion to happen. I'm excited for that.
Well, let's just have it now. Brandon Crawford.
F tier.
Well, okay. Here's one thing though. Derek Gold said yesterday though, which I'm not defending. I'm just saying like it's part of the reason. Apparently, both Masyn Winn and Ollie Marmol who want Crawford on the roster.
Why does Ollie want him on the roster?
I guess from like the ways he's pouring into Masyn Winn, and apparently Masyn Winn really likes having Brandon Crawford around.
But there's like not even comparable hitters, right? Brandon Crawford would like slug when he was at his best. Like I don't know
if that's necessarily the point, though. I'm guessing it's more on the defense. And like you don't have to be a good defender at this moment to be like a mentor to someone.
Well, there's this guy. I don't know if you heard of him, but there's this guy who's close to the Cardinals organization who's like maybe the greatest defensive shortstop of all time.
Yeah, but he's not there every day.
Yeah, he also didn't play in this league. He played in the league 40 years ago, which is not a knock on him.
Whoa. Sandy calling Ozzy out of touch? What?
Baseball has changed a lot. Ozzy's not out of touch, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was a guy who's on the roster.
I also think Crawford should be off the roster. I just thought I've never seen someone say Masyn Winn is advocating for Brandon Crawford to be around. So I think that when he's saying that, I mean, the Cardinals should be listening somewhat, especially if they're going to listen to Nolan and Goldie about them.
Or just like make him a coach. Or just IL him. Say, whoops, he stubbed his toe on the dugout stairs. He's on the 60-day IL now.
The Crawford problem is threefold. Number one, Crawford is maybe the worst hitter in all of baseball. His OPS is below a lot of people's batting averages on this team. Number two, Brandon Crawford he does the same things that Matt Carpenter does, but worse. Matt Carpenter has already had a couple of big moments, including a home run today. Like Carpenter's numbers, while mid, are not. I don't look at them and think, am I looking at the right statistic? Like, is that his OPS or is that his average? And then number three, Crawford restricts the team because, like the other night, I was explaining why he didn't pinch run for Burleson. It didn't end up hurting the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But if Amaya makes that tag and Burleson's out, literally anybody on the team was going to be a better runner in that situation and probably was getting in ahead of the throw. Yeah. And he'd been able to pinch run Carlson because he had Fermin to pinch run later. That would have been great. But Brandon Crawford doesn't do anything from a baseball standpoint. I'm sure he helps Masyn Winn. That's fine. Maybe put him on the 60-day IL somehow. I don't really care. But he should be off the roster. He's probably the worst Cardinal I've ever watched play baseball.
I wasn't holding Mo's water, okay? I was just telling you information we haven't heard before.
It's fine. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody else so they can all know that my definitive take is that Crawford is awful.
Get him out of here. Okay, Larson Hupar. I think
B tier.
B tier.
Yeah.
But, man, the injuries are becoming an issue.
Like, I don't think he's hurt, though, because he stayed and ran the bases, and then he played an inning in the field. I think they just want to get him off his feet. And Carlson's a better defender anyway, I think. So.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Is he? Oh, I don't know.
I think everyone says that, but I don't actually believe it. Dylan Carlson's kind of garbo right now. Sorry.
Yeah, nude at the top of B is fine for me.
I'm gonna keep looking when we're talking about that because I don't know if I heard anything about, but he did get pulled, and I don't love that because it's the second time in like a week that he's got pulled from a game. So, anyways, so let's go Jose Fermin.
Like C tier.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think he had a couple big hits when he was up, but he also just like played in like 4 games.
Yeah. I want to see him get more of a run. Like I would love for him to be over Crawford right now and to see.
Actually, 533 OPS is kind of D tier, but 15 at bats.
Yeah, 15. I'm fine top of D, low C. Like 15 at bats is hard to grade, but yeah. Sandy, you're at the final vote.
I don't know. It's tough. Probably like
low A tier. Oh, low C. Okay.
That's fine. Top of D, low C. I don't really care. I just wish Fermin was actually on the roster.
I just put him in C tiers, just like to put him above Brandon Crawford even more.
Yeah, stick him. Actually, stick him right below Michaelis. That's fine for me. The very bottom of C tier, because I feel that he actually would bring something to this roster.
Yeah. Also, are we a little too high on Michaelis when he's a 5.64 ERA?
The team isn't losing all of his starts. He's got, I think, 4 quality starts this year out of 11 games. I might be higher on Michaelis than other people. I just don't feel
less than half his starts.
Yeah, but a quality start in like half your starts over the course of a year, that's probably like 16 quality starts. Like that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
We can put Michaelis in D tier. That's fine.
I'm just throwing it out there. I kind of think he might be top of D tier.
That's
Because like the arguments we're giving is it's like, well, the team isn't losing when he pitches, and it's like, well,
yeah, that's the team's benefit. That's the team being good, not him being good. That's fair.
yeah.
Kareem's a Michaelis hater, which is fair because Michaelis is not that fun to watch.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, remember coming into the year, I said he was the 5 starter. I was so out on him, so I feel good about that take.
Michaelis as a 5 starter is fine. Like he hasn't been a terrible 5 starter. I don't know. I feel the same way I felt about him, like Lynn and Gibson though, where I said like if the team is winning when they're pitching, they're good.
But Lynn and Gibson are like actually decent.
They are really good right now. It's actually crazy.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Miles Michaelis isn't your 5th starter. He's more like your 3rd or 4th starter right now. So not great.
That's not
but, Kyle Leahy, probably like top of D. He's like a 4.4 ERA right now.
Bottom of C tier.
Top of D.
I am a Kyle
I'm
Leahy.
not holding Kyle Leahy's water. There's
no, don't do this.
You're gonna
Kyle
pull up
Leahy.
his expected stats, and then I'm gonna say no because
Okay. Entering play today, before Kyle Leahy gave up a 72 mile an hour fly ball double that definitely, like, I know Siani made a great run at it. I know no one in the league gets to that ball, but it probably should be an error because it got past him and resulted in a double. And had he just played it, it would have been a single.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to stop you. I was like agreeing.
Oh, yeah. And then he gives up a 66 mile an hour jam shot into center. And that's the only reason his ERA is above 4. Leahy has been very good this year, actually. And the expected stats are quite good.
He had mop-up duty in the Milwaukee game and gave up 4 runs, but he threw like 50 pitches.
Yeah.
So
he's been phenomenal.
I'm good giving him bottom of C tier because I think if you also take away that mop-up duty role, I think he's in a better spot. So
I just think that C tier for me is like, is this guy an average reliever? I don't think there are a lot of I don't think there are a lot of like bullpens around the league that wouldn't take Kyle Leahy as their 6th or 7th guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Kareem says that had a 70% catch probability. Did he just take like a bad step or something? Was he late on the ball?
Weird, Siani.
Maybe.
All right, Goldie, where are we at now?
I'm putting him in C tier because he's been better.
He has been better. He's starting to slug a little bit.
Yeah, I think probably top of C.
Yeah, maybe middle of C.
I'll put him behind Donovan because Donovan has a little bit more value. Like his higher OPS plays more, better.
Oh, defense. I forgot. My bad. I forgot. I was thinking we had Donnie at the bottom of B.
Yeah, if we're in full season, I'd be fine with him like right ahead of Fermin.
Yeah. All right, Goldie. Okay, Matt Carpenter, C tier as well. I feel like
top of C tier, like middle, like between Donovan and Goldie.
But like, has he been better than Donovan?
He's like a 750 OPS now after the home run. I mean, we're grading his really small sample size, but he's come up clutch in like 2 big moments now. So.
Yeah,
and he's played in like 4 games.
I put him right behind Fermin personally.
Personally, I have 7.
Okay.
Personally, I have 7 Matt Carpenters on my team, and we're winning the World
Wow.
Yeah, anywhere in C tier, you can give Bitsby whatever. I feel like it's small sample size and it's hard to put a bench player above
100%
Donovan. But anyways, JoJo though, A tier, easy. Oh my gosh, you even actually no, you can argue S tier.
I would argue S tier for JoJo.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like he's gotten bailed by good defense and like weird plays.
Ooh, every reliever does. I
feel like it happens all the time. Like he'll just like turn a weird like line drive double play, or like Ron Washington will ask his player to bunt and then he will like take the pitch, and then like he'll get weird outs like that. I mean, like I like JoJo. I think he's like one of the better relievers in the league, but like I don't think he's like in Helsley territory yet.
JoJo, I saw a graphic the other night, and it was like the number of relievers with 20 innings and an ERA under 150. It was like Class A, some other rando that I literally had never heard of, and JoJo, and that's the list. That's the entire list. JoJo has a lower ERA than Masyn Miller. Like, I think I'm going JoJo in S tier. I think any bullpen in the league would not only take JoJo, any bullpen in the league would take JoJo and make him a high leverage arm right now.
Yeah, and his FIP is low.
Masyn Miller's ERA is only high because the A's made him go like 3 innings in 1 outing with like I think JoJo, like there's plays that if they don't go his way, his ERA is like in the 2s. Like
I don't know if that's fair though, because like they have gone his way. You know,
Well, that's not like him doing the plays, right? It's just like Ron Washington makes a really dumb decision,
Well,
and
but that
we
was
get an out.
that's one crazy example, and that's not really his fault.
Well, yeah, but like he had loaded the bases and there was one out, and it's like, well, usually they score like 1 or 2 runs in that situation, and you got
Yeah,
really
but
lucky
you're
to get an out.
penalizing him, saying like if he for
And, like-
sure would have given up a run when he didn't.
might not have. Yeah.
But it's
No,
possible.
I would say like I just think
Yeah,
that-
it's possible.
Yeah,
I think JoJo among setup arms is literally a top 3 setup arm in all of baseball right now.
that's fair.
Like right
Yes,
now, and
yeah,
that's just gotta
that's
be.
But also,
be.
Kareem said JoJo A tier, so he agrees with me. So there you
Well,
go.
Oh.
Kareem doesn't have a vote technically,
That's true.
unless we're tied. Sorry, Kareem.
Whoa.
Love you though.
Wow.
All right, how about we throw him in A tier for now?
Top of A tier though, like
Top
the
A
very
tier,
top. So
above
good.
Burleson. But we might come back to that because I would still argue S tier because I actually think there's an argument that JoJo is potentially an all-star right now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Out of 7, how many? Who are the other 6?
Oh gosh.
Their names are Matt Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, and Brandon Crawford.
Wow.
Okay, Matthew Liberatore. He's such a weird one because if we were just talking bullpen, he's probably B tier, but like the starter stuff's not his fault, but like it happened.
It's still D tier.
We really gonna put him in D tier?
Yeah.
You know what? I
No,
would
I
say-
took him in the war draft, and he was doing so well, and then they made him a starter. I was like, well, I just lost this pick. Like, it's over. Like, I don't enjoy seeing him come out, but like, I think C tier, bottom of C tier.
As a reliever, he's a 3.63 ERA this year.
That's very comparable to Leahy, so I'd be fine with him right between Leahy and Fermin.
Yeah, I'm good with him in C tier. Because like if they randomly were like, hey, JoJo, go start for a little bit, like I don't know. I'd have a hard time holding that. I know it's different, but still. I don't know. It's dumb. Lance Lynn, I think like bottom B tier.
B tier.
I think so.
Lance
Yeah.
Lynn, man.
He's
Yeah,
a weird
his
one
game was
because-
frustrating because it wasn't his fault.
Mm. Yeah, and he's had 3 starts with rain in it where he's had them cut short. So like
He's never given up a run when it rains, or an earned run. He gave up an unearned
Okay.
run one time.
say I feel like he maybe did, but so yeah, I'm been very impressed with Lance Lynn so far. I'm a little bit weary of him throughout the season, like if he can keep up, but man, he's been quality middle of the rotation starter so far. Cal Gibson though, I give A tier.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah, like
He's
bottom
been
of
a
it.
exact opinion. Yeah, bottom A tier.
Kyle Gibson, though, like, man, he's eating a lot of innings. It feels like we win every time he pitches, except for the one game against Miami. Let me get those numbers real quick. But
And I mean, he's gone. I think he's gotten 6 or more innings in every start.
yeah. Oh no. There's one he only went 4 because it was raining against
yeah,
Baltimore.
because it's raining. Oh, and he only hit 5 against Milwaukee. I don't know what that was about. Was that rain too? No, probably wasn't.
Wait, when did he go 5? I think he went 6 against Milwaukee still.
The game.
Well, there was one
loss,
time where he got
East was
pulled
5.
because he had a couple base
He
runners.
went into the
and then
6th.
got rid
You're
of them.
right. He did pitch into the 6th and then got pulled. But he might be
So-
like one of the only pitchers in baseball who's given you like he's pitched into the 6th every time except for rain.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
What's his ERA? It's a 3.6.
Yeah.
Man, he's been awesome.
It's higher than Lynn's, but I feel like Gibson has been more impressive.
Mhm.
Let's do it.
Riley O'Brien was in D tier. He's not going to play this year, I don't think.
Yeah, just throw him back in D.
Yeah. Above
Unfortunately.
Scott and Pajes. Yeah.
Andrew Kittredge. What's
B tier.
I think he's probably fallen to B tier too.
Yeah. Maybe top of B. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
on the whole, he still had a really, really good year. Like if the season ended today, we'd all be really happy with what Kittredge's given the Cardinals still.
Yeah, his last 15 games, he is a 4.5 ERA though.
Ooh. But is that all just the last couple games still, like piling up?
It might be. It's actually a little bit lower last 7.
Interesting.
It's 4.26 last 7. So he's given up 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run. He gave up 3 runs back in that Milwaukee game.
Oh, I remember that one.
So I give him, yeah, he's B tier. So because like you're just not gonna have a bullpen where you have four
guys
or
left.
5 guys that are that elite all the time. So I have a hard time knocking him too much for recency bias. But Roycroft DF. And
I
mean,
would say maybe.
I don't think he's been like that bad. He just hasn't played.
I thought he had like a 6 ERA.
He
Does
does. It's because he gave up a couple of runs. So what happened was he was fine, and then in the Boston game, he gave up 3 runs in mop-up duty. Before that, though, his ERA was like, I think it was like 1.8 or something when he came into that game, and then he gave up 3 runs. I would say C tier, maybe top of D.
He's also just like not relevant to the team currently, I feel like.
He's closing games in Memphis. Like, I think he's going to be back.
Okay. Either one. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Low C, high D, either.
I feel like D makes the most sense.
High D is fine to me.
All right, Sonny.
Dude,
A
Sonny
tier.
So good. Probably A tier now, though.
Really? Just A tier?
Maybe S tier, maybe bottom of S tier. I
Mm.
feel like he has been really, really great. And he's striking out 32% of hitters this year.
2.6
I
ERA.
mean, there's one more person I want to put in S tier. I would put, and I don't think Gray's of the same caliber. He's maybe like an all-star, but
I think Gray has a really good shot to go to the All-Star game this year.
I think there's like I want to have 3 players in S tier, and I think 2 of them are going to be all-stars because Contreras won't be an all-star.
A 2.6 is actually nuts. Like, when do you think was the last time a Cardinal pitched a whole season and had?
Well, it's been not a whole season.
Well, of course, but like, how many Cardinals have even carried a 2.6 to the end of May?
I think Michaelis did it in like 2022. He was like really good.
Yeah, Michaelis was really good, but at that point, like, we would have called Michaelis a quasi ace, and I think that's what you can call Sonny. Right? Like, Sonny's been an ace this year, and I don't know.
Okay.
2.6
Everyone's
is
saying S tier. That's fair.
And we've got
he's got to be S tier. He shut out the Phillies. He shut out the Oakland. He gave up 2 runs and into the 7th inning against Milwaukee. Gave up 1 run against the Mets. Shut out the White Sox. 6 runs against Milwaukee, so it was a bad start, and then followed that up with 5 runs against LA. Then Emily gave up 1 run against Baltimore 5 2/3 and was throwing a no-hitter against Chicago. Like, I just feel like he's been awesome.
The Cardinals are 7-2 when he pitches.
So he's an ace. I do get what you're saying though, Andrew, because it's like this team doesn't feel like a team that has 4 S tier players.
No,
but
they have 3 right now.
Yeah, and I feel like that's actually part of it though. Like if Willson Contreras was healthy right now, I feel like it would feel like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, also just think about how well we've been playing though, since it feels like they've kind of figured some stuff out. In another month, this team could be 5 or 6 games over 500. And now it does feel like a team that deserves some extra players in your upper tiers.
Yeah. And I mean, bad example, but like the Angels clearly had 2 S tier players for so long with Shohei and Trout. So it's like, it's okay to like, for a bad team to have multiple elite players.
But they would also have 0 players in A tier. So like.
True. But they were also like bad, which the Cardinals were bad, but we're not doing this tier list while they're bad. We're doing this tier list while they're good. Like my English there. Nolan Gorman, B tier, bottom and B tier.
That's pretty good.
Sandy can 9.
His OPS is 760. Okay, that's
it really
pretty excellent. Yeah.
I mean, I picked him up in fantasy, but I didn't realize how good he was doing.
All right.
Thanks,
Bring it
Josh.
up again.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay, my bench right now, I don't have a single bench spot because I'm using all
drop
my
like
bench
Mike
and
Trout or
all my.
something. He's not going to play.
He's
He's not going to play the rest of the season.
I don't know. Okay,
I'm
in B tier
out
though.
of contention, and they're going to be like, you know what? Just rest the rest of the year. That's what they do.
Uh-oh, Tyler O'Neill. Oh wait, time out. Our the man, myth, the legend, Tyler O'Neill has hit the 10-day IL again.
Oh no!
So. Yay! Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be happy for that. I'm sorry, guys. No.
Oh whoa!
No, I wasn't right at all.
Oh my gosh!
Wait,
Red Sox fans are not happy, but that's okay. Yeah,
that's crazy. Nick Robertson is so healthy.
Where's Gorm? Oh, gosh, do we fit Gorm like between Nootbaar and Herrera? Maybe.
Yeah, that feels fair to me. Maybe even above low key, maybe above Nootbaar. He's been more available. He's the first Cardinal to double-digit homers. He's got an OPS that's like, 40 points higher, like 30.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
John King.
John King. Sandy, get on your soapbox.
John King has been so good since he became a Cardinal, and Andrew is such a hater. And this offseason,
I'm a hater too.
I'm not. I just don't.
No. This offseason, when I
good.
said something along the lines of I thought John King was going to make the opening day roster, Josh laughed at me. And then he gave up that home run.
He didn't.
At the stadium.
Oh, wait, did he?
I saw a tweet that said,
No, he didn't.
known terrorist John King. Okay. No, you know how good John King has been since he came to the Cardinals? I just would love to read you some statistics, Andrew. Oh my gosh. As a Cardinal.
Direct your hate at me. I've been the hater.
As a Cardinal, John King has an ERA of 1.57 in 34 innings. That's 33 games in roughly half a season. He's on pace to somehow record something along the lines of 60 innings in a calendar year. And no, his ERA is probably not going to stay under 2. That's not going to happen. But his FIP's been great too. His FIP with St. Louis is a 3.52. Also, his FIP with Texas was a 3.86. So he was already not a terrible reliever that people were hating. Yeah, he is.
Also, look.
That's right.
Look at his FIP last year, though. My computer's being so slow, so I can't. That's part of the reason I was so out on him. Is the expected numbers were just bad last year. So he had posted a good ERA. It was just
the FIP last year was a 3.68 total, and then with the Cardinals, it went up to 3.84.
Yeah, that's where I know. That's where I felt like it was dumb luck. But I think Kareem brings a good point. His ground ball rate. He's a batted ball guy. I get it. He's better than I thought he was. I would take the L on that. I don't want John King to be bad. I just was
no, it's fair.
It, but
do you know what his ground ball rate is right now, though?
It's like 65% or something like that.
70%.
Okay, it must have went up today because it was. I looked yesterday. It was wildly high.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see him go right through the heart of the Orioles lineup. I'm pretty in on him. I would say right now, he's in my circle of trust.
Is John King the new Matt Bauman?
I don't know, man. I feel good when he enters the game, though. No,
in a good way. Remember, he was a ground ball machine for a while.
Yeah,
Then you bring him in, it's like ground ball. So
yeah,
Seth Maines.
His ERA is bad, but he's actually getting people to chase a lot. People are chasing 33% of the time, and the great thing is they're not chasing and missing. They're chasing and hitting the ball. And if you get someone to chase out of the zone and make contact, that's when you get these rollovers. And that's what King thrives with. I would say for me, he's top of B tier right now in terms of how good he's been, maybe right below Kittredge because the sample, it's less volume.
I thought you were going to say A tier.
No, I won't give him A tier yet. The volume's not there, but I really like what I've seen from him. And I feel really good about him going into the game, especially right now when you're starting to worry a little bit about your 3-headed monster. If John King and Kyle Leahy or someone else can emerge as a quality other option, that could really help alleviate some of the pressure.
Yeah. Also, just to follow back up on the Lars Nootbaar conversation, he did indeed leave the game because of lingering pain in his side, and he's getting an MRI in Philly.
That would suck.
So, not great. So maybe we do see Jordan Walker back in St. Louis soon. Who knows?
I mean, he has a bobblehead night in a week.
Yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of Mr. Jordan Walker, gotta be D tier.
Yeah,
I don't even. It's been tough, but I mean, also he's 20. I mean, I'm not giving up on him at all. I still super excited about him long term. It's just it hasn't been great this year. That's okay. So, Nick Robertson, how we feeling?
Top of
C tier,
bottom of C.
Yeah, I'd say bottom of C probably.
I was coming around on him before the injury, and now I'm just kind of bummed because I feel like I liked what I saw. He was getting, he struck out 14 people in 12 innings, very solid. But
yeah,
so bottom of C,
somewhere in C. Indifferent on that. Nolan Arenado, that's he's a weird one too.
Really weird. The defense has regressed in recent weeks.
Yeah,
D tier, top of D tier.
I don't know if I go that far.
I mean,
it's been tough. He's hit 4 home runs.
Yeah, D tier actually. He has a
677 OPS.
0.
Yeah, I gotta go top of D.
What happened to him defensively? It felt like the first month we were all Nolan Arenado, at least if the glove's not going to be there, Like the defense is back, and it's been really bad in May, actually. Like all the value is gone.
Gallegos F tier.
Yep. Yeah, it's been bad.
That makes me
Above Crawford.
I believe he's
Crawford needs stuff here. Okay.
It's true. I saw I don't think anything's been confirmed yet, but I saw that Gallegos was close to doing a rehab assignment. So hopefully he's building up that velocity back and he could be a quality middle of the bullpen type guy, not high leverage, but slot in there somewhere. So we'll see. Palante's also a weird one to rank because he's just coming off like an excellent start, but also like, I don't know. I'd probably put like top of C.
Yeah, I mean, he was terrible as a reliever, but he had one good start today. That was really good. I'd say like right above Liberatore.
Yeah, because he can start and Libby can't right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he's like the opposite of Liberatore.
Someone tweeted out, I don't remember who it was, that Ollie basically asked Palante when they sent him down, what do you want to do when you're down in Memphis? And he asked to become a starter.
Wow,
so yeah, so good on Palante. And he said that his stuff played better. Like he felt like when he gets more length, his stuff plays better. And I actually agree. And that's something that I think is I've heard multiple people say, but Brandon Schaefer's been on a lot lately of like Palante, when you bring him in with like runners on, like your ground ball luck is just a little bit more risky. But when you get to work out of your own jams, it kind of works better. So I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see how Palante goes.
Yeah, that's one where we're thinking about future projection. Like Palante could find himself at the bottom of B tier if he just continues to give the Cardinals quality starts. It doesn't have to be as good as it was today, and he's not always going to face an offense as bad as Cincinnati's.
Yeah.
But like, very happy with what we saw today. It was exactly what the Cardinals needed.
Yeah, and doesn't even have to be like, in my opinion, if Palante is like his best starts are like 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, or like 6 innings, 3 or 4 runs. Like that's kind of what we talked about Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson coming into the year, and because we thought they'd be 5 starters, but Gibson's been way better than that. Lynn's been a little bit better than that. Like if Palante is just giving you a chance to win every time, but not necessarily the reason you win, that's even a win for me from Palante's role. Like today is the best possible start I'd expect from him. I don't expect him to go 7 or 8 innings deep, no runs. And he is also, because he's such a high ground ball guy, he walked like 3 or 4 guys today, but his pitch time doesn't get too crazy because he can turn those double plays. So I like it. 5th starter. Hopefully he fills that role.
Yeah.
Steven Matz, F tier or D tier?
D tier.
The very bottom of D tier. And this is as a Steven Matz fanatic.
Yeah.
It was bad. I'm really bummed by how bad it was, but like it was bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think he's on the same tier as Gallegos and Crawford. So I think D tier makes sense.
We need a new tier for Crawford, man. It's just got to be like eject into the sun.
Jeez. I hope his family watches this just so they can hear Sandy say that.
I don't mean it in any personal way. I
made it onto his wife's Instagram. I was at the spring training game, and I walked right in front of her, like when they were recording his very first hit as a Cardinal, and I'm just there.
Andrew did it on purpose to block the video.
I didn't realize. I was like, oh, Crawford got a hit, and I just didn't care.
Yeah. All right, 3 players left, and then 4 crucial figures. Oh, we don't have Chip Carey this time. No, we need. We can
think about where Chip Carey would be, though.
We also need to rank Carlson because I forgot about him.
All right, Carlson's F tier to me. He's been awful.
Okay. I feel like Carlson, after this series where it's been actually no, it's just bad F tier. It's fine. Whatever. F tier. I was gonna say maybe bottom of D tier, but like he's bad.
Let's see his OPS.
His OPS
right now.
is like a
383.
Is that after today?
Yeah. And he's not playing good defense.
Yeah, he's been bad defensively.
So
Dylan
Carlson, you would be an
because he got trucked by Jordan Walker, who's like twice his size.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel bad for him.
I feel terrible for the guy. It's gotta suck.
So can't wait for him to get traded to like Colorado for Austin Gomber and a bunch of other things for Austin Gomber, and then he goes on to be amazing there. But oh well.
We should trade Nolan Arenado for Austin Gomber, Elari Montero, and I don't know.
Yeah, those 2 pitchers who never made it out of Double-A.
Yeah.
Oh man. Maybe Colorado knew what they were doing. No, they didn't. That's a joke. Ryan Fernandez. High C tier, low B tier.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at I feel like the numbers are not quite as good as the eye test for Fernandez.
I feel like he's been like a little bit more erratic.
He's a 3.32 ERA.
Yeah.
26 strikeouts, 21 innings. He's been the last few games been a little worse.
I'm putting him definitely behind King though.
Yeah, I'm a B tier guy for him.
Okay.
I'd say put him below Gorman or below Newbar.
I'd say below New.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Siani, like C tier, B tier, C tier.
High C.
Siani hit a homer for Sandy. It was probably like more exciting for him than when Ohtani hit a homer for me. Like it was
being there for the Siani homer game. Like I'll remember that forever.
Yeah, I'll go high C. I mean, he's been like what we hoped Victor Scott could have been this year. So, go ahead.
I will say this. I think there's an argument to put Siani at the very top of C tier. He has more WAR than Donovan does. And Siani's done something like he's filled in at a critical defensive position for the Cardinals because coming into the year, like I was thinking about it the other day, you would have put Edman, definitely Carlson, definitely Nootbaar, and probably Victor Scott all as options ahead of Siani. Like Siani was a fifth option, really like truly a last gasp option for the organization. And yeah, he's not hitting. He's got a 60 OPS plus, but he's still accrued positive value because he's been that good defensively.
Yeah.
And for me, he's at least a league average center fielder. And yeah, I'm really happy with what he's done. He has like stabilized what could have been an absolute black hole for the Cardinals this year.
Yeah. And you can't deny he's a situational hitter. Like he can lay down a bunt with the best of them. He can knock a guy over, fly ball. Like he does what he needs to do at the plate. I don't think he strikes out a lot.
No, he doesn't. He got hot for a minute and it was actually really fun.
Yeah. So, and here's something I'm really excited about. It's like, okay, so this is what Siani's doing. The profile of Victor Scott is an even more exciting version of this at some point. That more exciting and more productive version. So like the amount of times that I look at Siani and I'm like, that's such a fun player. I love him. I'm like, man, Victor Scott's gonna be so awesome when he can reach his potential. So keep him in AAA though. Let him bake.
Seriously.
But speaking of a guy who I think I started to underrate kind of hard this offseason.
Yeah.
Masyn freaking Winn. Dude. Holy cow. My king. Yeah. Bow down to Masyn Winn.
Yeah.
I'm probably glazing a little too hard right now, but Masyn Winn, S tier.
Also, yeah.
S freaking tier. Do we do we think the Cardinals were right sitting out the shortstop markets and free agency because of this? Like Dansby Swanson for sure. Like I was
so bad. Oh my goodness.
Like, imagine what you could have got for Masyn Winn on the trade market. Like if you had Trey Turner or like Corey Seager. Corey Seager probably
wouldn't be doing this right now though.
Yeah, I think only Seager and maybe Turner.
Masyn Winn, you could have gotten like. You could have thrown Masyn Winn and Carlson and like somebody else in a package for Juan Soto, and then you win the World Series in 2022. Who knows?
You definitely want Seager still, and you definitely probably want Turner, and you can move guys around. Like one of them could play second or third right now or something, or DH. But but like you definitely don't want Baez, you don't want Story, you don't want Swanson. I think another guy, Correa, you don't want him either. So come on, Masyn Winn, he's awesome. Hey, Andrew, have you changed your opinion that he could be a franchise player or not?
It's been like a week. It's been another week. Like he's still like really
good week. A really good week.
Like I want him to be a franchise player. Like people will come at me on Twitter. They're like, he's as good as Ozzie Smith. I was like, Ozzie Smith won like 13 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, he's not Ozzie.
But like, yeah, he's really good. I'm excited for him.
He's probably already surpassed Derek Jeter all time for me, but he's not quite Ozzie Smith yet. So.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I'm just kidding. All right, Ollie. Okay, let's on the count of 3. Let's all say our grades for Ollie. 3. Actually, chat. You get to throw them in here too. Ready? 3, 2, 1. B.
A tier.
Oh,
We all say B? Whoa.
B for me, but like high B. Ollie has everything he's done lately has been right, and I really enjoy that. I like being wrong when Ollie's right.
I put him in A
Because
tier.
I'm right and Ollie's wrong, we lose.
Andrew,
that
make
really
the case
sucks.
for A.
I've always liked Ollie. Like when he does the right thing, and then when he gets ejected, I love Ollie ejections. And now we're like 12-3 since he got ejected, so it's great.
Yeah. I'm giving B because they just got to 500 and they did have that like horrible stretch, which is within this. So like I think it's like hard for me to
it's Ollie's fault that Ohtani just hit a home run. Wow,
none of that's Ollie's fault, but it's hard for me to be like he's been an S tier, A tier manager when they just got to 500. But I mean, he is like as close as possible. And if they were over 500 right now, I'd have no problem putting him in A tier. Part of this is playing to the masses a little bit, but post ejection, Ollie right now is clearly an S tier manager. Like,
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we were all talking about how he should probably lose his job 2 weeks ago. So I feel like it'd be a little weird to be like he's an A tier manager, even though I don't think any of us said it was his fault, but it still feels weird. But if you want to put him in A tier, I won't stop you. I'm avoiding the holding Mo's water here. So
yeah,
all right,
it feels good.
Money Mo hasn't done anything since last time, and I think that drops him down.
Let's count down for all the last 3 of these because I think it's kind of fun to say. All right, 3, 2, 1. B.
C tier.
Oh, CBA. Okay.
Let me explain. Let me explain here. Okay. The Cardinals' biggest hole was the rotation. We have brought in 3 starters: Sonny Gray, Kyle Gibson.
The biggest hole is still the rotation, and he hasn't done anything about it.
3 starters. Okay. And among those 3 starters, they have now combined for almost 200 innings. They have a collective ERA that is like 3.38, I think is what I read. That's pretty incredible. And he did it all without breaking the bank. He did it all without trading the blue chip prospects. A lot of it looks really sustainable. And the aggregate of those 3 is the bottom of A tier. Okay. You've got a guy in S, you've got a guy in A, you've got a guy in B. I would say that Money Mo belongs right in the middle of those 3. Maybe you can put him at the very top of B, but honestly, like low A because of what he was able to do to fix the pitching staff. I know the offense still has problems, but I just really don't think that is his fault. I really think it's player performance, and that's really frustrating. And I know there are other problems. Yes, they probably need to go out and get another starter, but it's Money Mo who makes the call to say Palante is going to give. We're going to go with Palante, and that worked out really well.
Is it his call?
Yeah, I would assume it's his call to make those big decisions to say like this is the guy we're going with.
Yeah, but it also took him forever to move off of. They kept putting Matthew Liberatore.
They did keep going with Liberatore. But I mean, I wonder if they felt that Palante was just not startable at that point.
Well, then, like, they should have done the Brad Keller and waivers. Like, I
really wish they would have done it. But I'd be fine with B.
Yeah, I got to put him in B because I think there are just some clear flaws of this team that wouldn't have been that hard to fix as well. Like, I know he brought in 3 starters, but it really wouldn't have been that hard to also sign Rich Hill or to go get Brad Keller or to which I know none of us would have liked in the moment, but man, they really need it right now.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time. And also he did put Victor Scott up,
and that was bad decision.
So
that's true. B is fine with me then. But the front end of the rotation or like those 3 pitchers have just been so good and they just deserve all the credit in the world.
True that. Yeah. All right, to Wallet. It's kind of a weird one, but all right. 3, 2, 1. D
tier.
D tier.
Nice. Yeah. Terrible.
Okay. Part of this also has to go with.
I mean, this isn't just this guy. This is also DeWitt the third.
Yeah. DeWitt the third has been on like a heater with bad comments lately.
Awful.
Like, oh my gosh. If we had DeWitt the third on here, he'd be F tier easy. But oh man. Yeah, you just gotta put the DeWitts in D tier right now.
I was so mad. I read that and I was like, are you really going to try to manipulate me into spending more money at your stupid game? No, ridiculous.
Do they get like bumped for like the City Connects at all? Like, do they like? Does
they didn't do anything. They look exactly the same as the spring training jerseys.
We should have.
Connects are B tier. Like they're not creative at all.
I think B tier is probably fair for
top B tier for City Connects. I like them.
I do like them too, but they're missing a little bit of something, just a little bit. But
I love them. I think
all right, the Cardinals. They are, what are they? 27 and 27, 28 and 28. What is it?
27 and 27.
27 and 27.
500 ball club.
500 ball club. won 12 for the last 15 games. 3, 2, 1. C tier.
Oh,
B tier.
I'm the lower one.
B tier. Here's why.
Andrew, wait, hold up. Andrew's higher than me.
Wait, hold up, Andrew. I thought Andrew said C.
I said B tier.
He said
Yay.
B. You guys explain. Go for it.
I mean, they got back to 500. That's what I wanted. That's what was. I mean, I broke my boycott because I thought Imanaga was coming to town, and I was like, oh, I have to be there to repent for my wrongdoings. But yeah, now I get to go back to the games. Too bad I'm not going to be here for any of them. So,
I mean, I'm putting like I know this is also expectations, but it's like 500 is like the definition of like average. So
yeah, it's like a B minus. It's like average, isn't it?
No, C is average. But hear me out. The Cardinals are a half game out of a playoff spot right now.
True.
Like if the Cardinals were winning the division, or like if the Cardinals had a bye, I would say that's an S tier team. If you're winning the division or like in contention for the division, like within a game or two, that's probably an A, maybe a high B. And if you're like right there for a wild card spot, and the Cardinals are literally half a game behind 3 other teams, the Cubs, Giants, and Padres, who are all like right there in those wildcard spots. And they're only 5 games behind Atlanta for the first spot. And they're within 5 games of Milwaukee now. So like that's a lot of really good stuff that's going on. And the Cubs could lose again tonight, which would just push the Cardinals further up in the standings. I would say that's a team that like is legitimately
incorrect. The Cubs will not lose this game because Shota Imanaga is pitching. And they will never lose when he pitches.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But so like that's a team that's competing for a playoff spot. If the season, the Cardinals, like if there was a week left in the season, we'd actually feel pretty good about what's going on, especially because they're playing so well right now. And, I really do think that it's going to continue to go well. They have an easier stretch of schedule coming up. I know Houston's not a cakewalk, and obviously Philadelphia is very good, but then you're going to get Colorado and Pittsburgh at home. Like that's really great. I feel really good about the future outlook. And I do believe that 2 weeks from now, you're going to be talking about a team that's not just over 500, but that's sitting in a wild card spot.
That's fair. I guess in my head, I was trying to take out as much as possible, baking in what I think is they're on track to do. Fair. But at the same time, like where they are right now, they look like a team that's going to keep winning. So I'll go B tier. That's fine.
I might have revealed my biases to the baseball gods, and I might have just cursed this team. So I'm sorry.
We will get cooked on Twitter for this, but that's okay. Actually, I don't know. Twitter seems a little more optimistic lately. Just Marty doesn't like us, but that's fine.
Yeah, Twitter's been fun lately. Everyone's having some fun. When the Cardinals do a bunch of winning, it's great. And Angel Hernandez got fired.
On the stream. You weren't there for that, but it was great. You got to press the passing button, like for real.
That's amazing.
Well, how do you guys feel about our rankings? I feel like for the most part, the chat seemed to be in pretty agreement. There's some that we were a little bit far off on. And I felt like for the most part, we were all pretty like within a tier of each other. I'm excited about this team right now. I really feel like they're about to do something. So those are our player grades. Any other lasting thoughts you guys have?
Where's Turner Ward?
He's in F tier.
Where's Turner Ward?
Yeah.
F tier.
The offense has been good lately. Is he making his way through D tier?
No.
Probably in D tier.
Because like they're playing what there should be, and the hitting coach is supposed to make them better.
Pop Warner, though, someone said that he should be in D tier. Who was it? He definitely needs to be in D tier. I feel like he always sends at the weirdest time. Cody. Oh my gosh. Like Goldschmidt today. I mean, he scored, but like that looked like he was gonna be so out. Oh my gosh. And it did beat him. It was just a bad throw. But oh well. Well, thanks for joining us for the stream. If you're watching this later, obviously we appreciate that as well. Like and subscribe helps the channel out a ton. We'll be back again on Sunday, and so that's after the Philly series. We'll see. Playing against the best team in the National League right now. See how the Cardinals stack up. Played really good baseball lately. Really excited about what they've been doing. Again, subscribe, like the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all the support, and we'll see you guys next time.